This is, without a doubt, the most strategic board game that we've ever made.
Strategy, playing with your friends and the politics at the table, and then also either reenacting history or creating your own history.
I could play communist Germany versus monarchist Russia, and we could see like how that would actually have played out, because one of the super interesting things about this board game is that you can literally rewrite history. I don't think there are any other strategic games that give you the option to completely change what did happen into a totally alternative timeline. And not only that, but you get a complete power trip, because you've got these little miniatures on the map and you're ordering them around like a general.
The Paradox Interactive staff are, like us, fans of grand strategy games, board games and video games as well, as you'd imagine. So the fact that this game justifies its place among other strategy games that are out there, it really has its own feel to it, as well as being reminiscent of the Hearts of Iron video game.
Obviously the video game has a huge amount of choices, and what the board game does really well is distill that amount of choice into a way that really works on the tabletop. So you've got things like the focus deck, which relates to the focus tree that you have in the video game. You've got a political board, which is where you're going to be managing your alliances and your wars with other nations. You've got resource management, which is really key, you know, building factories, generating units, and just making those choices is going to be a key part of how you play this game. It's not purely about war, although obviously war is a big part of it. It's also about how you are acting as a leader, because you're going to have a huge amount of choice, but like any leader, it's about deciding which choice is the right one. You can play this in a single session, so it's not a huge campaign game. You don't have to sign up to 25 sessions to play out this war. You can play a whole war in one evening. 3 to 4 hours, and you can completely crush your friends, and you can talk about it for a year and gain all of the respect that that deserves.
And then for your next session, you can bring your friends around again. You can talk about what happened last time. Oh, Jamie backstabbed me last time, I'm gonna get him this time. You can take either different countries and change their ideologies, or even you could take the same country. Maybe communism didn't work out for the Soviet Union, so maybe they can try a monarchy, for example.
It's a game where there's a ton of player interaction, so what you do might directly impact somebody else's choices in turn. And another interesting thing about it is that there's actually a thing called simultaneous play in this game. You don't have to wait for someone to completely finish their turn. If you're totally set on what you want to do, you can go ahead and start making moves. You might want to wait sometimes and see how things lie before you make decisions, because unless your friends are really nice, they're not going to let you have takebacks. But it does mean that the game is continually flowing, everyone's kind of moving and doing their own thing, exactly as it would be if you were really commanding a war. And there's a lot of simultaneous action happening. That's super interesting.
This has been a fantastic game to work on. We're really excited to show it to you, and I hope you'll be joining us on the battlefield.